On the edge of the lake is a 300-year-old manor house. Ian McFarlane has lived here all his life.
My mother and father ran a hotel, and my father's a bagpiper and fiddle player, and a lot of his friends would come in and play music, and I have very, very early images of these wonderful looking people, old people, having great fun, sitting together, sharing tunes, stories, and songs, and I just always thought from a very young age, I just want to be sitting in there, be part of that.
The manor house at Glenfinnan is famous in Scottish history. This is where, on the banks of Loch Shiel, the Prince Regent Charles Edward Stuart landed, rallying hundreds of Highlanders to his cause. The last Scottish rebellion set off from this lake. In the Harry Potter series, this lake was also the setting for Hogwarts, the famous school of witchcraft and wizardry. Edinburgh is home to the most famous school in the north of the United Kingdom, Fettes College. Founded in 1870, Fettes College was originally a boarding school for orphans and poor children. Today, the Gothic-style castle, inspired by the chateaux on the Loire, welcomes young pupils from the world over. 800 pupils attend the school from primary level to the end of secondary level. This is where ex-Prime Minister Tony Blair went to school. Hogwarts Castle would not exist had it not come from the imagination of the author of Harry Potter. But J.K. Rowling was partly inspired by this famous boarding school when she set the scene for her school of witchcraft and wizardry.
So, groups of four, one group of three, girls and boys in each of the groups. Okay, and then get yourselves at one of these stations. Starting with the paper copies first, then after 7.5 minutes, I should be quite precise about this, I will let you go online. 7.5 minutes, you do the vote.
Marcus, age 12, joined Fettes this year. The school has transported this young boy to another world.
Current theatre of war.
I think my first impression was quite kind of surprising. I didn't really imagine how big and how kind of amazing it is. Like every little detail in the building, it looks like it's all ancient, and it wasn't what I was used to. I think it was quite unrealistic at first. It's like being in a castle. It's just massive and awesome.
Okay, Marcel, you can start doing a few jokes. Turn for Phil. Yeah. Hamish. Yeah. Tom. Yeah. Marcus. Ross. Yeah. David. Yeah. Thomas. Yeah. Rio. Yeah. Phil.
Just like in the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, where the pupils belong to different houses. Fetters has 9 houses spread out around the main building. Marcus has joined Carrington House.
Now about 3 weeks or less than 3 weeks.
And you go back to your house and it feels like you're going back home. It's not really like you're at school. It's more like you've invited your friends over for a day and you're just spending an afternoon with them. But otherwise it just feels really homely and relaxed, and everyone's really open to chat with you, and it just feels like you're at home.
Lesson starts sharp at 10 boys. Have a good day today.
Ancient Greek, modern Greek, Latin, Mandarin, physics, biology, visual arts and sports. Fetters College aims for excellence.
Being a Fettesian's great, even in other places. So yeah, I definitely feel proud.
So long ago, before you, before me, before your great-grandmother and your great-great-grandfather, there were no people. There were only animals, there were only trees. And on the winter of these years, there was a small robin. Now he was blown from his flight to the ground and injured his wing. A robin cannot fly on an injured wing. So he approached a local group of trees for shelter, for food, only until the spring months came again. Oh, oak, please, can you give me shelter? Please, can you give me food? Just until I'm better to fly away. However, the oak was slumbering in these winter months and could not answer.
The forest is a recurring theme in fantasy stories. Forests are generally home to all sorts of strange and wild creatures, each more dangerous than the next. In the depths of night, the woods are not a reassuring place to be. In the Highlands in autumn, there is a place which is transformed at dusk. The enchanted Fuscally Forest offers an illuminated nocturnal stroll like you've never seen before. Strung with lights of various shapes and colours, the forest's natural decor has been illuminated by an installation imagined by the young British artist Kate Bonney.
The very first brief for the very first event was to bring people out to the woods, out to the forest at night in the dark, and encourage them to look up at the canopy. Because normally when you walk around the forest, you look at your feet to make sure you don't trip up, and see, because in this part of Scotland we have some of Europe's tallest trees.
Created about 15 years ago, this sound and light installation set over 66 hectares of forest has acquired a big reputation. All the income generated goes to charity.
Try to create a journey where you get the opportunity to enjoy the natural beauty, or to feel that there might be something mystical or mysterious that you can't interpret, and also points where you just feel a little bit nervous or a little bit scared just by not being quite sure what's there.
In the autumn for a month, the enchanted Fuscally Forest receives more than 55,000 visitors of all ages from countries all over the world. Harry Potter, going into the forest at night is a punishment. Those who venture there may never return.
And a robin was able to fly away. The Creator had been watching this, had received all these words from animals of the kindness of the pine, and approached the trees. Oak, birch, you were asked for help and ignored an innocent, defenseless animal, whereas the holly and the pine did not turn away from them. Their reward is they will keep their leaves green all through the winter months, but you will lose yours. And thus autumn was born, and the leaves fall from the trees of the oak and the birch, but the pine and the holly still say green and fresh for all those who need comfort, shelter, and food. And that's how we have autumn.